Hello, my name is Martha, and I'm a mother to a sweet 16-month-old baby. My menses had delayed, and a few friends were teasing me because I was sleeping a lot at work. So I went to work one day and the teasing continued. You might be pregnant, you might be pregnant. And I said, okay, this thing has delayed. Let me just go out and get the pregnancy test kit and test right at work. So I stepped out, went to get the test kit, went to the washroom and did the test. And I saw 2 lines. I was excited, but I felt bad for my husband because we had planned on waiting. We got married in March 2018, so the agreement was to wait till December 2018 to start making babies. And as God will have it, I got pregnant in May. So I called him right in the washroom. I said, baby, guess what? He said, don't tell me you are pregnant. I said, no. I said, I'm pregnant. I'm really pregnant. So I called my mom. I couldn't wait to get home. I called my mom. I told her, she was happy. I called my twin and she was even more excited than I was and was already thinking of baby names. And then, yeah, so that's it. That's how I found out. Oh, and I called my dad too. And he was excited and he started speaking in tongues and started praying. He sent me scriptures to read during my journey. I couldn't wait to know his sex. I wanted a boy. My husband wanted a boy too. My mom wanted a girl. I really wanted a boy. I prayed to God that he should give me a boy. So when we went for the scan and I was told it was a boy, you know what he did? He gave me an envelope and it was sealed and asked me, yes, with the results, the sex. The doctor asked me not to open it till I got home so that I can open it with my husband. And like I told you, I used to be very impatient. So I just, right in the car, I just opened it and I saw XY. Yay! XY. And no, I didn't get home to call my husband. I just called him. It's a boy. It's a boy.
What was his reaction?
He was excited. He was really excited. I was also equally really excited, yes. The cakes, the flatters, there was, I think during the 7th month onwards, he used to have hiccups every day. And I had read on it, so I could actually tell when he was having hiccups. And I really loved it. And sometimes I'll just rub my tummy. It's okay, baby. It's okay. And the hiccups will sort of, I don't know, it will sort of stop. And then the attention. You know, everywhere you go, unless they don't see that you are pregnant, at work, when you go shopping, church, everybody loves to pamper or give special attention to a pregnant woman. Yes. And yes, that was when I enjoyed my husband to the most. He was extra sweet during that period. The weight. After the 8th month, he got really heavy. Like he got really heavy and I had back pains. That was when my feet started swelling up and I couldn't sleep well. You have to lie in a certain position at night and I could wake up as much as 8, 9 times in the night to pee. So I was not resting well. And yes, and I was super emotional during the final trimester. I could just break down and cry for no apparent reason. Not just cry, weep. I could just weep. And it wasn't really fun. During the final trimester, I couldn't lie on the bed anymore. I couldn't lie in bed. I was more comfortable lying in the sofa. So the nights before I slept in the sofa, I was fine. Everything was okay. I had a relatively very smooth pregnancy. No complications, no morning sickness, nothing. The morning, it was a Monday morning. I had woken up from my sofa and I went to the bedroom to sort of stretch myself. My husband was there. He went to the kitchen to pick something. When he came back, he went like, "Baby, your face has swelled up." And I knew I already had swollen feet. Getting swollen face, in addition to that, is not good. I know that wasn't good. That could be a sign of preeclampsia. And I didn't have any high blood pressure or anything. So I called the doctor and told him that my husband says my face is swollen. And he said, "Do you have the machine with you, the BP machine?" I couldn't find it. So he said we should get to the hospital immediately. Fortunately for us, we had already packed our hospital bags weeks before. We went to the hospital. Apparently it wasn't just my face that had swollen. I couldn't tell. I didn't know. It was my whole body. So I looked like the nights before I went to sleep and someone just came to pump whether helium or water into my body. So I was this round ball. They checked my blood pressure and it was through the roof. So they said we would have to either induce pregnancy or do an emergency CS. I had not prepared for CS. I had psyched myself for spontaneous vaginal delivery like the Jewish woman. I was doing all this pelvic floor exercises, doing the squats, ready to push, and here was I was told CS might be an option. I was like, okay, that's fine. My twin came in, she saw the reading for my blood pressure and she said, "No, we have to get the baby out." She's a medical doctor. So she said they had to get the baby out immediately. So I was prepped. I was asked if I was okay with it. I said, okay. Anything to get my baby to be fine and me to be okay. So we got to the hospital at 2. By 7, I was wheeled into the theater. And when we got to the hospital, I was actually 2 cm dilated. Yeah, so we went into the theater by 7. They did a CS. I think it was less than 20 minutes or so. They were done. And they took me to the recovery. That was when I had a few complications. Like, I bled a lot, but by God's grace, everything was okay. By 11, I was sent to the ward. I was fine, my baby was fine, and that was all that mattered. Yeah, I remember the staff trying to joke a lot. They were joking a lot. They were trying to get me to laugh. My twin was fooling around, rubbing my hands, trying to get me calm because I was scared. I had not psyched myself. I was not emotionally and psychologically prepared for a cesarean session. So it was I was taken aback and I was scared. But they calmed me down. They were fooling around, talking about christening colors. It's blue. What else? Food, what I would do, the music they think I should dance to in the theater, and I was laughing. Before I realized, I heard my baby cry. And funny enough, the first question that popped into my head was, is he fair? Is he fair? That was the question I asked my twin. And she said, really? Really? Is he fair? I said, no, tell me, is he fair? She said, yes, he's fair. They brought him to me to identify the sex. I said, yes, it's a boy. And they took him away. I was relieved. At least the weight is now gone. Already, I was laughing throughout the session. Like, they were trying to get me to laugh. So I already had a smile on my face. When I saw him, I was like, oh, okay. That's my baby. That's... there was no... I didn't see stars or magic or angels singing. No. It was more of relief. Yes, and I was happy he was out and healthy. When we got home, I had my wound had to heal. My scar from the CS had to heal. So my mom moved in immediately, and my mother-in-law also came. She also came to help. So my mom was taking care of the baby. My mother-in-law was taking care of the laundry and cooking, and my husband was taking care of me. Yes, that was it. My twin also moved in with us. And it wasn't easy. The first 4 weeks was not, I wouldn't lie. I had help, but I had to breastfeed. I had to wake up and breastfeed. I had to sit up. The wound, you can't sweat. It's like when you sweat around the scar or the wound, it's like pouring salt into an open wound. It was very uncomfortable. Sitting was painful. And I had, I developed high blood pressure after I delivered. The blood pressure, that's the episode I had on my day of delivery, like, continued till, I think, I was on antihypertensive for 1 month, and my pressure came back to normal. So I was battling with blood pressure, high blood pressure, and you wouldn't sleep. If you had high blood pressure, you need rest. You can't rest because of baby. Baby was feeding, I can say, almost every hour. And I had to pump the breast milk during the day, feed, install. And then I will never forget, his 3rd week, he got colic. So at 9 p.m., so let's say 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m., he would cry non-stop, high pitch. 9 p.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.-ish for a whole week and a half. He was just uncomfortable, he was in pain, and during that time, my mom will carry him, sing for him. I'll carry him, sing. My mother-in-law will carry, sing. My twin will carry, sing. And my husband will pray in that room. He will be praying for us. It was terrible. I remember this time. So we were how should I say it? It was like a shift. You carry him for a while, then I come. So my shift was almost up. So I decided to get up and go check on him because he was still crying. I walked into the room and my mom had broken down in tears with a baby in her arms. Like, she had not experienced that with any of us. So it was new to her. It was new to my mother-in-law. They had not had a colicky baby before. So it was difficult, and there was nothing could help. They would say give gripe water, rub the tummy, bicycle. Oh no. Nothing helped. So I actually had to stop. I became a Google mom. I went to read on stuff that could make your baby get colicky or get colic, and it seems almost everything I was eating might have contributed to that. So I was eating just rice with chicken stew, morning, afternoon, evening for a week and a half. Just so he will be fine. I can't say it helped because, it passes by itself. Maybe it helped. It could have been longer than a week and a half. So yeah, maybe it helped. It was one of our really, really, really difficult moments. I did exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. So during the day when he's awake, I feed him, I put him to the breast, and when he sleeps, I pump. So I had two, one here. So I'll just be pumping, and I had this storage bags. I date it and keep it in the fridge. And I had it in mind that I have to get back to work. So I wanted to have enough in store so that when I get back to work, I can still keep to the exclusive breastfeeding. So that was what I was doing. Usually when he was asleep, I was pumping. You could pump and your nipple will be sore. But I was always pumping. And then when I got back to work when he was 4 months. I was pumping in the office as well. Then I couldn't wait for the 6 months to be up. Like, it was a lot of work, but it was a sacrifice I was determined to make. So after the 6 months period, I introduced him slowly to solids. So the solids was just like supplementary. He was still on breast milk, mainly on breast milk, with little fruits here and there, the purees. Anything you do, you have to blend to make it soft. And he was still getting used to the taste and texture of other foods. So it was a really slow process. You can't really force him. Today, he might totally reject potatoes, but you try it next week and he would down everything. So that was how it was. Then around 10 months, thereabout, the breast milk, his demand for breast milk went really down. It was more of the solids. And now he just takes breast milk as dessert. He takes it as dessert. I'm still breastfeeding though, but it's not like as before. He doesn't take it for food. He just takes it as a snack. Sweet after meals. Yes. Your life will change. There's no way your life would change. It will change, and it will change drastically. It has changed. It's like our schedule is around him. You always have to factor him in every single decision you make, whether it is going out to have some fun, meeting friends, going to work, whatever it is, even buying something, the woman down there, buying something down there, you have to, usually before then I was really spontaneous. My husband and I, he can just call me, oh, get dressed, we are going here around this time, and before he gets home, I'll be dressed and we'll be off. But now he has to tell me a day before at least, so that I can prepare whether I'm bringing him along or I'm leaving him with my mom or I'm going to leave him with his mom. One funny thing happened, I think when he was around 7-8 months, thereabout. I had to travel briefly. It was an emergency. It wasn't planned. And I did exclusive breastfeeding. So I said, okay, right now he's done with just breast milk. He now takes a little bit of solids. I had expressed something there, so I can just go for 4 days, just 4 days. He will be fine. I left him with my mom. You know, I had to get back the very next day. I had to cut the already short trip, even shorter, from 4 days to like 1.5 days, because he refused the food I left behind, and he had run out of breast milk. So I had to run back to him. So my life has changed. It has. Yeah, it has changed. It has changed. I have lost much of the baby weight. I think my final trimester at 9 months, I was weighing 74 kg. Pre-baby, I was weighing 57, and now I am 57. But it's not 57, like, you know, the difference is there. My tummy has become flatter. No, like in comparison to pregnancy, it has come down, but you know, there's this stretchy skin around the navel area, and I have the scar. And breastfeeding has shrunk my breast. Yes. No. Breastfeeding has shrunk it. So it's smaller than it used to be. Yeah. Just that right now I have more hips and more backside, which is good. There have been a lot of surprises. I used to have a lot of impatience. I was very impatient before marriage, before baby. But now my heart has expanded. It has just a whole lot of patience. I am now very patient. Something that I would react to usually, now I just see it and oh, I really surprised myself. And I used to love to sleep a lot. When I don't have anything to do, I'd rather be home and sleep and rest. And baby comes and you are up almost every hour feeding. And I didn't die. I'm alive. Baby is also here. So yes, I can do without sleep and still be sane and still function. Yes, those are the main surprises. I've grown more patient, and I have grown to live with very little sleep. Right now, it's better. You know, it gets better as they grow older, as they get independent. I think around 13 months, he started sleeping through the night. So he goes to bed around 7, and the earliest he will be up, it's maybe 5, sometimes 6. So I get to rest. So it gets better. It gets better. But once in a while, he can wake up maybe 1 or 2 times, but that's it. We are not waking up like 5, 6, 7 times in the night anymore. Scary moment. Let me tell you, he was asleep. He had just started rolling over. Sound asleep. I said, baby is asleep. Let me quickly get into the bathroom and just a quick shower before he wakes up. I was in the shower. Halfway through, I heard kum. I was like, what sound was that? followed by this high-pitched cry. I was like, Jesus. I came out of the shower with the soap all over my body. Here he was face down on the floor. I couldn't hold him. My husband was in his office. He actually heard and came, so he picked him up. I was like, God, what happened? And he was also asking me what happened. He fell. So I had to quickly dress up, and we rushed into the hospital to get him assessed, and thankfully he was okay. He had a small bump on his forehead, but he was fine. Everything was okay. That was very scary. And his circumcision was also scary. Baby boys. I hail all the mothers with 2, 3, 4 boys. I don't know how they do it. Circumcision is it's sad. It's just sad. The baby will cry and cry and cry. He doesn't even have the energy. This is a 2-week-old. 2-week-old baby, and you are peeling the flesh off his skin, and this baby is screaming his tiny lungs out, and there's nothing you can do than either to help him cry. I wept. I was just crying. I was just crying. Yes, that was also scary. Yeah, the thing with immunization was he took it really well. He didn't run temperature or anything. I had my paracetamol syrup. So immediately they gave him the shots. I gave him 2.5 mils of paracetamol, and I was repeating it every 6 hours, and I was monitoring his temperature. He was fine. All the shots, 6 months, all his shots, he was fine. I was a Google mom from the day I realized I was pregnant till now. I still am. I was reading on anything and everything. I had downloaded all these apps, all these books on baby. I had this chart on poop whale, the different colors of poop. So whenever I was changing his diaper, I look at the color of the poop and I match it against the color on the whale to see, is everything okay? Is he fine? And I was looking at the color of my breast milk. I had read on it what each color means, whether the baby is sick. When your baby is sick, your body would produce more antibodies to fight the sickness in the baby. So the color of your breast milk will change. And walking, you know, the different milestones. When will baby walk? When will baby crawl? When will baby roll over? Baby is rolling over too much. Is it normal? Is it normal? Oh my goodness. Baby is sucking his tongue. Is he okay? Is it normal? I was reading ahead, reading on anything. I would call my friends who had kids, and I'll be asking them, my baby did this, did you experience that? Is everything okay? And usually they used to laugh at me. They still do, they laugh. But right now I'm more calm because he's getting older and older, so yes. Now you don't live for yourself anymore. You have someone who is 100% dependent on you, who looks up to you for everything. So you can't just behave anyhow or be too spontaneous. You have to factor him in everything you do. Now, even the way I pray has changed. It's more for him, and even I even pray for people, the friends he would make in future. Even his wife, I have started praying for his spouse now. The kind of woman he has to marry, the sort of children he would have. And I have become, and it has, this whole journey has reinforced my faith in God. And I know that I'm not alone. Like, see, from then till now, we are still here and we are still happy and still pressing on. And I know God is real. His smile. When he looks at you and smiles and giggles and laughs. You know, we used to have this routine. Right now, COVID has ruined it. Whenever I got back from work, they will be downstairs. He'll be downstairs with my mom. He would hear me come in. So he was already by the door waiting for me to come in, and he would just give you this big hug and a smile. But now, because of COVID-19, immediately I get in, he'll be here waiting, but I have to rush upstairs and take my bath before holding him. And he would cry throughout till I come back down. And it's very disheartening. But it's an adjustment we are still making. I'm not used to it. He's also still not used to it. But yes. And you know, when he wakes up in the morning, he has this really big smile he gives you each morning. And when he's satisfied, he has this dance he makes. I can't make it. It's like a chicken dance. He has this, and it's a joy watching him grow, watching him develop. And knowing that you have someone who calls you mom, someone who loves you unconditionally, it's one of the greatest rewards.